What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of Pillow Talk with the Casey crew.
Welcome.
Yes, now this is a different Pillow Talk because it's like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yes.
Now we're doing this Pillow Talk. And the reason being is, I ain't gonna lie, I'm on this detox. And because of the detox, I don't eat from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I don't drink or eat. So I eat at 7 p.m. So when I eat and then I go to the gym, I'm usually tired right after. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But the detox, we'll tell you more about the detox on the next Casey Crew podcast. I already lost like 12 pounds in like 6 days and I feel great. So I'll tell you all about it and where you can get the detox if you want. Now, let's start this Pillow Talk, all right?
Okay, so he got me up at 2, 3 in the morning right now because he couldn't wake up at the normal time that we would typically record this.
Yeah, so I'm going to do this podcast and I'm heading right to work. All right?
But not me. I'm going to try to go back to sleep.
You're going back to sleep. So lucky you. So now let's talk about, well, we missed last week, so I want to talk about a little last week and this week. Let's talk Tamar Braxton. Now, Tamar Braxton, she cut her hair off. Mm-hmm. And people are talking about her and her hair and why she cut her hair off. Now, before I read her statement, what's the power of hair? I'm a man and I have a Caesar, so I don't have much hair, so I don't really get it. Like, people seem to be really up in arms about her cutting her hair.
Well, hair is typically, I guess you would say, considered a woman's crown. But in this day and age, hair kind of holds us women hostage in a sense. You know, to maintain a woman's head of hair, it takes a lot. And right now, you know, we try to do different styles and different designs and things of that nature. And it can take a lot out of you, especially if you're someone in the public eye like Tamar is.
Right.
You know, she was accused at a certain time for not having any edges and, you know, between all the wigs and the weaves and things of that nature, you know, it's a lot of upkeep. So I think that her cutting her hair off is basically saying, like, bleep the world, bleep y'all opinions of me. I'm beautiful without the wigs, without the weaves, without all of the time consumption that it takes to quote unquote be beautiful. I'm beautiful without any of it. And I commend her for doing that. She just took it all off and said, look, this is my face. This is who I am. Love me or leave me alone.
Yeah, she looks pretty without hair.
She looks beautiful.
Absolutely. Now, she said, I'm over feeling captive to a wig. Weave people's comments and opinions. Hell, even my own feelings. We can choose to stop these things from having the power and victory over us. And for me, that starts today. That's when the post that she posted when she cut her hair.
To me, it just seems like a fresh new start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know, what happens when you want that hair back? Like, you got to have, like, you know, they have spender's remorse. What about hair cutting remorse? And then
I don't think that she's going to have any because she looks beautiful without it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that that's going to happen. And when she may just get tired, just like, you know, everybody at some point, it's like, you know, you want to change. And if it gets to a point where she wants to change, then, you know, she can either grow it out, do a short cut, throw a little wig on, whatever, but that's her choice. And when that time comes, she'll decide how she wants to move forward.
Now, also, Tamar is in the news because she's allegedly, I wouldn't say boycotting, but she's not really involved with the Braxton show. And the reason they're saying that she's not involved with the Braxton show is because they said that they're shining a bad light on her husband, Vince. And she says she doesn't want that portrayed out there. Now, the sisters are like, no. The sisters are like, when it was our relationships and our situations, you gave your opinion, good or bad. So now we're giving our opinion, good or bad. So don't act like that.
Well, do you know what all happened?
They're not saying what happened.
What's the backstory?
They're not really telling how they're shedding Vince in the episodes because the episodes haven't come out yet. Mm-hmm. But however it is, Tamar's like, she doesn't like it and she doesn't want it out like that. Now, you know, I feel this, like, I do understand what they're saying. Tamar is, you know, she's very opinionated. She's
outspoken.
Yes, she tells whatever she feels. Mm-hmm. Now, the fact that she is not allowing or not being involved because they don't like the way that it's portraying Vince. At first, I thought about it and I was like, well, that's not right because you say whatever you want to say. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if you can give your opinion on somebody can give their opinion on you. Mm-hmm. But if that opinion or the way they're portraying the person on TV is not true, and will hurt that person, I completely understand why she's doing that. You know, if I give my opinion and my opinion is from the truth then that's something different. But there was all these rumors that were going out about Vince. They said that Vince cheated on her. Vince put hands on her. Vince did all these things. And, you know, they've been doing interviews together, and it seems like it's been coming up that that wasn't true, and those were rumors that came from somebody else. And maybe she's like, you know what? All those were rumors. I was wrong. Those were rumors. Those things didn't happen, and I don't want that on TV because I don't want my son to see the fakeness. If it was true, then I would take that. But if it's fake, then I understand completely where she's coming from.
And she doesn't want it to be portrayed falsely. Is she one of the executive producers on the show?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, because if she was an EP, I think she would have pulled that off immediately.
Well, you know, as an executive producer, you can be she may not have that power.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, obviously she doesn't, because she would have took that shit out immediately.
Well, not necessarily, because she can be co-executive producers with her sisters.
That's true.
If they are, so she can be outweighed. But I agree with what you said. If the portrayal is false, then, and if her family knows that it's false,
right,
and maybe they may be interested in keeping it for ratings or for the pull or for the drama or to keep the show interesting, then I understand her saying, you know what, I don't want to have anything to do with it, because after the cameras shut off, there's real life that goes on after this.
Absolutely.
And we're the ones that are going to have to dig ourselves out of this ditch after, you know, all the mud has been thrown. So I'm going to remove myself from the situation. I get that. And also, you know, it's her job. Like, if they are deciding to work through whatever problems did exist, or if it was false, if they're putting themselves back together, then it's her job to protect her husband as it's his job to protect her.
Right.
So if that means that she can't participate, then that just means she can't participate.
Yeah, but she, you know, it seems
it comes with the territory as a wife.
She seems like she doesn't want no involvement at all right now. And I get it and I understand it, but I also get the sister sides. Like, I don't watch the Braxtons. You know, every once in a while, I check it out if it's on, if you're watching it. But if she made opinions or she made statements about the other sisters' relationships and marriages and all that, now when the tables are turned, you're like, no, don't make opinions on mine. And I get that only if it's true. If it's true, I get it. But if it's false, nah. I've
seen it. They're all opinionated, and it seems as though they're all pretty outspoken. So I don't think that it is her problem that they have an opinion. I think the problem is the portrayal of her husband.
True.
Not that they have an opinion about things that he may have done. It really all depends on how it went down on the show and what exactly it is that she's upset about. So we really just have to watch and see, and then at that point decide how much you agree or how much you disagree.
Yeah, I agree with that. And hopefully they work it out, because at the end of the day, they sisters. You know, I mean, I even know Tamar Braxton was the first to kind of announce that Tony and Birdman were a couple. Like, she was the first one to say that they were married, and I don't think they were married. So we'll see how that works out. But besides that, you know, I know that her and Vince are going through things and they're trying to work it out. And I pray that they can work it out, because they, you know, Tamar's as sweet as can be, and so is Vince. Vince has always shown us a lot of love. So hopefully they can work that out. Now let's switch gears a little bit.
Got it.
Roxanne.
Loved that movie.
Okay, the Netflix movie came out over the weekend. It was dope. There was so many different parts of that, and I don't want to give everything away, but there was so many different parts of that I really don't know. If you don't know who Roxanne Shante is, she's probably one of the first female MCs ever. And I know a lot of people, when they talk about female MCs, they really start with Salt and Pepper. That's the first group that people always remember. But no, Roxanne Shante was before Salt and Pepper. She actually opened the door for Salt and Pepper. It talks about her story, her being from Queensbridge, and her just being a nice MC and really getting taken advantage of by the industry. And I thought the movie was dope. I did not know that Nasty Nas.
See, you're not supposed to do that.
I'm just gonna give this little part.
You shouldn't.
It's okay.
No, stop. That's the end.
No, but that's cool.
Stop. No, it's not cool.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I didn't know that some of her biggest, I didn't know that for Nas, his biggest influence was Roxanne Shante. I never knew that.
You're not supposed to say that.
They're all right. They'll get it. They'll understand. They're not gonna know the whole thing. They'll get it at the end.
They're not gonna know the whole thing, but wasn't that nice to see, like, right at the end when it all came together? I feel like pulling this whole episode right now.
All right, well, I didn't say that. So what did you think about the movie then?
I feel like pulling this whole episode right now. You shouldn't have did that.
That'll be all right. What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was really cool. Nia Long was in it, and she played Roxanne Shantae's mother. I liked it because it kind of gave you a bird's eye view of what a female goes through in the industry.
Correct.
Or what she can go through in the industry, because it seemed as though she got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways. But what I did like was that you got to see her do her thing and be successful and be respected.
Right.
She was very respected and she kind of owned that. So it was a little bit of female empowerment, and she was very young at the time. I realized that when we were watching it, and there were certain times where it showed how old she was. And I remember you looking at the screen like, wow, I didn't realize that she was 14. Oh, wow, I didn't realize she was 16. But at a young age, she kind of honed her craft, owned it, and was respected. So I like that about it.
What I didn't like, and I'm seeing more and more and more, I'm seeing a lot of older men take advantage of these younger girls. Like
that killed me.
We're looking at the movie over the weekend, and there's a scene where she's 14 and these 45-year-old men are hollering at her. Yeah. And I was like, at 35, you're looking at a 14-year-old?
Yeah.
A 14?
Yeah.
She's not, back then, I guess it didn't matter, but right now I'm like, some people out there are really sick and they're into that, and I don't understand why. And that's why you always got to protect your children, protect your daughters as much as you can, because people are motherfucking crazy.
Yeah, the person, well, there's two, but the person that you're referring to, I think that he was so enamored with her because she was successful,
right? And
other people were looking at her and she was getting so much attention that he wanted to own her. It was as though he wanted to own her, and he wanted to show people like, hey, look at what I own.
Right.
And I think that's why he wanted her so bad.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a great flick. If you get a chance, check it out. It's on Netflix. And I was really surprised by it. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I'm from Queens, New York. So the fact that I got to hear that story, I really, 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 really loved it. All right. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, and we're just going through a bunch of things. Shout to all the kids out there. Now, if you don't know, kids took over Washington, D.C. over the weekend. And they just wanted to stand for gun laws. They basically wanted a tighter gun law where, a 16-year-old can't buy an AR-15, which is a semi-automatic weapon. That's the weapon that the guy used in Vegas to kill all those people in the concert in Vegas. It's also the same gun that the young man used to kill all those students in Florida. Now, this really surprised me. Now, the March of Our Lives, that's what they called it. 800,000 to 1 million kids came out. Now, I know you're saying like, oh, that's a lot, but to compare it to last year, they said when the women's had the march, they said it was about 500,000. They said when they had in 1969 a demonstration against the Vietnam War was 500,000 to 600,000. They said when they had the Million Man March, they really couldn't calculate it, but they said it was between 5 and 1 million. And when they had the March on Washington for Freedom, they had 250,000. And when President came in office, I think they had 10,000. But the fact that so many students and kids and children came out to really protest meant a lot. I almost put a tear in my eye because I was like, the kids are honestly and truly the future. And the fact that they out there, and I'm not gonna lie, at 13, 14, 15, I wasn't thinking about laws. I wasn't thinking about fixing the environment.
Were you worried about being shot in school?
It wasn't on my mind.
Exactly.
But I believe it was still happening, maybe. No? Not back then?
It's a different time right now. And people are constantly talking about bullying. And, I've heard people say, oh, bullying is overrated. Oh, that word is becoming overused. Right. Oh, it's such a sensitive subject. People need to ease off the term bullying. But I think that some people, the people that say that, they don't really realize what bullying is and the effect that it can have on people, the long-term effect that it can have on people. And especially right now, it's exacerbated by social media. And there are kids that can really sink into a very deep, dark, desolate place. And a lot of the times, the people that you find committing these crimes, or maybe even if they haven't ever done anything, the people that threaten to commit these crimes, and even if you're not outwardly threatening to commit these crimes, maybe the people that are thinking about hurting others or hurting others in a massive way are oftentimes people that have been bullied
Right.
or feel alone or feel like they have nobody or feel like everyone hates them. And then obviously there's others that may have, some type of mental issues or issues at home or whatever. They can come from a lot of different walks of life, but a lot of the time I think that it can be a result of them being made to feel badly about themselves. So that's, sped up by social media, and it's made a bigger thing by social media. When we were in high school, there was no social media.
Right.
So I don't think the concern was as great back then as it is now. It's a whole different beast.
Right. No, I agree with you. And the bad thing about bullying is I look at it two ways. All right. And the first way I look at it is kind of sad because, when I was a kid and when I was in high school, I wouldn't say I was bullied, but I was bullied a little bit. I was short, 5'2". I had braces. I had glasses. It wasn't necessarily a wonderful time, but I never looked at it and says, oh, my God, I hate the bullies. It was like, I'm going to get them back tomorrow. Whether it's dissing, whether it's this, that, and the other. And that's what my parents taught me. My parents didn't teach me, well, if somebody bullies you, you run in the corner. They always taught me if somebody bullies you, you stand up to that bully,
right,
no matter what it is. You know what I mean? And if you get to a point where it's too much, call me and I'll stand next to you.
But let me tell you what the difference is, right? You might have wanted to go to school the next day and punch that bully in the face.
Right.
Today, that bully would have said whatever he said about you, then he might have posted a picture of you, and then he might have gotten 200 comments of people, basically standing behind him and saying, yeah, or ha, 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 laughy face, or adding on to the insult.
Right.
So where you might have wanted to go to school the next day and punch him in the face, now you might feel like you want to shoot everybody that liked that picture, that liked that post, or that left a comment. Then you might feel, you know what? I want to walk into that school the next day and shoot this whole place up if only I had a gun. But now kids can get guns. Yeah. So that's how it's different when you were younger as opposed to how it is now.
Yeah, no, I get it because, I understand that because.
So the kids' concerns are a lot greater now.
Yeah, but what do? I mean, you can't. Because now that social media is here, that's something that we have to deal with probably forever until it's over. And it's never going to be over now because people are so into it. People really do things for a like. They do things for a follow. So the fact that,
to make people laugh or
to be a troll, it's easy to say, you look motherfucking ugly. And then other people are like, yeah, you look like this. Yeah, you look like, it's easy to do.
Of course.
And the problem with that is kids are being hurt, physically and I ain't even gonna say physically, emotionally. So what do? The only thing you can do is tell your kids, fuck them, block it. But it's hard to say and hard to do. When
easier said than done.
But what do you do? Because this is always going to happen.
But that is the answer. It really does have to start in the house. It really does have to start with parenting, and not just parenting to teach your kids how to defend people that try to defame them, but it's also parenting to teach your kids not to be the ones that do those things.
Now that's the thing. It's teaching, that's where parents have to come in and say, you can't allow your kids to do that.
A lot of parents don't do that. In our 16 years of being parents, we've come across a lot of mean kids.
Absolutely.
Kids that are just bleep holes.
Right.
And sometimes you just look at them who's your mother?
Right.
Who's your father?
Who raised you?
Who raised you?
Dr. T.K. Kirkland.
What kind of house did you come up in where you can get away with being this mean?
But I think a lot of times parents don't know. You see what I'm saying?
When your kid's a bleep hole.
Yeah, but
you know when your kid's a bleep hole.
But you don't know if they're being bleep holes on social media. You don't know if they're bullying kids unless teachers are calling. For instance, I can't even say for instance. I was going to say if Madison posted, but we're pretty much on top of our kids' social media and things.
Right.
But, some parents are. Some parents are not social media savvy. Some parents don't know. Right. All they know is about Facebook. They don't know necessarily Snapchat.
Right. There's certain electronic things that I can't accomplish myself unless you or Madison's around.
Right.
Just because you guys have spoiled me. I don't have to do a lot of that stuff for myself. Something goes wrong on my phone, I'm like, where's Rashawn? Where's Maddie? I can't take care of it myself. So I relate to a parent that has no clue about an Instagram, I don't have a clue about a Facebook.
Right.
I've never been to someone's Facebook page. If you told me, Gia, go to so-and-so's Facebook page and look at XYZ picture, I'd be like, I don't even know how.
Right.
Just because I've never done
it. Right.
So you think about maybe an older parent who isn't technology savvy or social media savvy, they wouldn't have a clue as to how to do it.
No, you're right, but parents have to start doing it. They have to start micromanaging their kids to make sure their kids are doing the right thing.
Maybe not micromanaging
No, I think
them, but managing them.
I think micromanaging a little bit, because you have to check and see what your kids are doing. Like, I'm from the place where my dad would follow me to school and make sure I was getting on the bus, not cutting, just to make sure. You know what I mean? And even though I never did, he wanted to be positive and say, okay, I know what my son is doing. And we don't have to do that because we drop our kids off at school. But if our kids took public transportation, you damn right there'd be sometimes I would fucking pop up on their ass just to make sure they're doing the right thing.
That's not true.
I would.
You wouldn't, because like be honest. Like, we wouldn't have to. Like, we wouldn't have to because of who they are.
Right.
But maybe if we had a different kind of kid, then we might have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because kids, they're born with their own personalities.
Right.
Like, our kids aren't going to cut school.
No.
Because they know that they would get knocked out.
I'll bust their ass.
Like,
exactly.
like there is no, but I think that in other parents' households, they might not run as tight of a ship.
Right.
You know?
And I want to switch gears to Amber Rose. Now, Amber Rose put on Instagram that her son loves Taylor Swift. And I guess Taylor Swift heard it and was coming into town and actually sent her son, I believe, some clothes, I guess merch, and also tickets to the show. Now, if you know Amber Rose, her son, they recently dyed her son's hair blonde.
What color? Oh, okay.
Blonde, and he was excited to go to see Taylor Swift.
Wait. Are you insinuating that he dyed it blonde for Taylor Swift?
No. He just dyed it recently. He
just happened to dye it blonde.
He wanted blonde hair.
I didn't know if you're making a connection.
He wanted blonde hair. Recently was his birthday, and he just dyed it blonde. But also,
that's the thing with the kids
Swift.
now.
Absolutely,
like the blonde tips.
Absolutely. So, when she posted the video of her son opening the tickets and all that, a lot of people posted a lot of nasty shit. Oh, your son is gay. You have a 5-year-old gay boy that likes Taylor Swift. So she left a comment on her
People
Instagram.
Are so disgusting.
Shout out to all the hyper masculine men and ignorant dumbass women that will call a 5-year-old gay for liking Taylor Swift. She wrote that on her page, and then I guess people were just leaving so many comments, she just took down her whole page.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
She doesn't have a page right now. If you go to Amber Rose, it doesn't exist right now. I don't know if it's because of that. People said it's because of that, or maybe they said that she allegedly broke up with 21 Savage. But right now, she has no post. She took down everything on her page.
Can you temporarily disable your Instagram?
You can.
And then you can allow it, and then everything pop back up the same way that it was?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I think
she probably just needed a break.
Yeah, I think she needed a break. But my whole thing is when you talk to bullying, like, this is a 5-year-old kid. And the people that are bullying are people with no faces, or they have low self-esteem, because there was times when Logan blonded his hair. And it wasn't because I thought he was gay or not gay. And even if he was, who the fuck cares?
So wait, you think that people thought that he dyed his hair because of Taylor Swift?
No, not because of Taylor Swift. They just basically, the dyeing has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. I'm just telling you what they're saying, because of the dye and because he just recently got Taylor Swift tickets.
That is such a huge thing since Odell Beckham dyed his hair blonde, or the tips, or however it was that he did it, like for the past 2-3 years.
About 3 years.
A lot of the kids, all of Logan's friends, Logan himself, have either been dyeing their hair, like the tips, the edges, like the top of their flat tops or their blowouts or whatever, blonde and red.
Right, but let's not forget.
And all those people that are leaving those nasty comments, they know it.
Yeah, they're just being dickheads.
They're just looking for something to say something negative about.
But let's not forget, Bash's father's hair is blonde at times. Well, Wiz Khalifa, his hair is blonde at times.
Right.
And if the boy wants to be like his daddy, what is the problem?
But that's not even, but Rashawn, that's that needs no explanation. I can't even waste any more words explaining that that's okay. That's beyond obvious that it's okay. What is disgusting is the idea that grown people would go after a child.
Absolutely.
And insult him, insult his sexuality.
Absolutely.
Look for anything to poke holes and make fun of, and leave comments. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely. And I totally agree. I just, when it comes to kids and it comes to family, to hear people talking about oh, this boy is this, that upsets me so much. And that's when you just want to
Crazy.
start punching people in the motherfucking face. Like you really, 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 really.
But that's why I always say you can't value other people's opinions.
Right.
If you feel that you're doing the right thing, because look at the type of people that are out there leaving comments in their opinions.
Right. Right.
It has zero value. Zero value. And don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that there aren't people that have opinions that have great value. But I'm just saying, for people that look at comments as a reflection of themselves, you can't. You appreciate the good ones and disregard the bad ones.
Okay. Now, also, let me ask you a question. Do you have a friend as good as Black China? I mean, not Black China, as good as Amber Rose? Do you have any friends that will ride for you? Well,
I don't really know the nature of their friendship. I don't really follow them like that.
Okay, well, let me explain it a little bit. They are best friends.
I mean, I saw that little clip.
Right. Now, if you haven't heard the clip, I'm going to play the clip right fast. Now, the clip is Amber Rose talking about Black China's, I guess you could tell the sex tape or the oral tape. And I'm going to play.
Oral is a form of sex. So technically,
you know what I mean, damn it.
Tape.
It's 3 a.m. You know what I mean. Let's play that clip right fast.
19. So that's a pretty big age gap. Again, when I was 18, I dated.
And this is when she was on Big Boy's Neighborhood. Shout out to Big Boy.
Kind of get to the point where everything I was like, oh, I want to try this. Because again, I'm like young and I haven't tried it. No, you don't want to do that because of this, and that. And I'm like, can I just do that
already? Let me crash the car myself, though.
Pages.
You know what I'm saying? But you in 21, y'all were like 10 years.
Yeah, we're 9 years apart.
Yeah, but that's the same age.
I feel like that's
what are you talking about? Once you get older, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's 25 and I'm 34.
And Jay is 18 and she's 29.
Right.
Hey, man,
About to be 30.
I'm going to tell you, I ain't mad at little bro.
I ain't mad
You know what I'm saying?
He's
On the real, if I was 18 and a hot 29 like that, I'd be like,
Right.
"Jeez, miss me what you saying." You know what I'm
And
saying?
first of all, I just want
My
to say,
mom could have called me like, "Mama, come on now." Get on.
I just want to say this on the record, okay? If you think Black China don't know how to suck a dick, you got her all the way fucked up.
Oh God.
All the way messed up. And I'm going to tell y'all why.
Can I take my pants off? Hold on. Say it slow. Dim the lights down. Turn the light down now.
Turn the mood music on.
Say what you gonna say.
Okay, all I'm saying is...
Because we saw the video.
Okay, but listen, let me tell you something. Sometimes, you got a motherfucker sitting on your chest and you know...
Angle, okay,
But
angle.
sometimes, when you give oral, okay... sometimes it's a cute little, nothing OD, and sometimes you OD on it, right? Don't ever for a second think that my bestie, my sister, Black China can't suck a dick. I'm sorry.
You know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your word.
Y'all going to stop talking about my friend? No, I swear to God, because you just look at Black China. Just look at her. You think that she really is incapable of going ham on a D? You're crazy.
Yeah, I was definitely a doubter.
You're out of your mind. You're so rude.
All right. So now, see, that's the type of best friend that I want in my life. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. Like, for Amber Rose to say that means either she was in a room when she sucked the dick before, she's seen other dick sucking videos, or she's that confident in her friend sucking dick. Now,
I think she's just that confident in her friend's abilities because she probably looks at Black China as a sexy woman. So I think that
so what, sexy women? I'm sure there's sexy women out there that can't suck a dick.
But this is her friend. I'm sure that they've had conversations. I'm sure that they've swapped stories. So I think that her confidence is embedded in that.
Yeah, but the problem is I want a best friend like that. Like,
yes, everybody needs a best friend like that.
Like, I need a best friend that'd be like, yeah, I know Envy could eat a pussy.
Okay, right. Stop.
But that's loyalty right there. That is loyalty.
Yeah, and that's how friends should be.
I mean, would you do that for your friend? I know my friend could suck a dick.
I'm trying to imagine myself in a situation where I would have to defend my friend in that way, but damn it to hell if it came down to it.
That's the type of friends I mean. The fact that you're going to stick
I wouldn't want anybody speaking negatively about my friends. So
that is some great. I know my friend
say
can
what
suck
it took.
That is crazy. Like, that is loyalty and honesty. The fact that she will stand up for her friend and say, you don't think Black China goes ham on the dick?
But I mean, and also what she said, that's what I said when I saw the video. Like, you can't judge somebody off of one little stupid video that came out.
Right.
She could have been sick that day. She could have had a sore throat.
Then don't tape it.
She could. Listen, she was intimately taping that with her man or her partner or, you know, her sex toy at the time, whoever he was to her.
Right.
She didn't tape that with the expectation, I'm sure, that it was going to get out and go viral.
Right, true.
You know, what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom is what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom.
Right.
You know, I think that everybody, if they thought it was going to go viral, would, as Amber said, go ham.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I think she just did what she felt like doing that day. I really don't think. I mean, everybody laughed and joked, and you called her trash and all that stuff.
I didn't call her trash. I said her
skills. Excuse
her skills
me, my
were
bad.
trash.
Her skills were trash. But you never really know. And I mean, she's right. You know, at times females can have an off day or a day you don't really feel like doing it or a day that you're not that into it. You shouldn't be judged for that.
I mean, there's times when we're having sex and I'm trash, and yes, that's true.
That you're trash?
Yeah, there's some days. But you know what?
Trash?
I ain't gonna tape it.
Trash though?
There's gonna be no footage out there of me being trash. I mean, there's times I come in, I'm tired, and I give you the
lazy D,
the lazy D, or
but it's never trash though. I'll say that.
I mean, you're gonna say that. See, that's the best friend I like. See, you're my best friend because you're gonna ride for me.
Best friend.
My D could be trash. You like it's never trash. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Never trash.
You my Amber Rose. See,
I don't want to be your Amber Rose.
Now, lastly, you know what I want to talk about is something that I really, really enjoyed, and people are really, really upset with this individual. So last week, Little Dicky and Chris Brown released a song, and in the song they change bodies. So Little Dicky becomes Chris Brown becomes Little Dicky, and people are mad saying, "Well, that's just the white man way of saying nigger, 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 nigger."
Really?
What do you think about that?
Really? But wait a minute. What do you mean that's their way of saying the N-word? I don't get it.
Because you remember...
Because Chris Brown sings it in the song.
Right, but they're saying pretty much they are changing because Little Dicky is now Chris Brown. So they're saying that's really Chris Brown, well, that's really Little Dicky's body saying nigga.
Right, but in actuality, it's Chris Brown saying the word.
Right. I mean, but they're saying that's Little Dicky's part of the song.
Right, but it's actually... not Little Dicky's part of the song. In the video, Chris Brown is actually like, he didn't really jump into his body. Like, we all know this, right?
So you think people are going too far?
I think people always go too far.
I think people look for any reason.
And that's just my problem. You know, it's like, it feels as though people are hardwired to find something negative and just exploit the hell out of it.
Well, let me explain to the people what happened again, and I'm going to play a part of it. So in the video, it's called Freaky Friday, and in the video, Little Dicky and Chris Brown, they swap each other. So now Chris Brown becomes Little Dicky becomes Chris Brown, and they say nigga, 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 nigga. Let's play a little bit of it right fast.
Chris Breezy, oh my God, I'm the man.
I love the song.
Wait, let me ask you this. Do you think that it's people's problem that because of the nature of the song, meaning the fact that they do quote unquote switch bodies, do you think people think or people take it that the song is giving Caucasian people the allowance to sing that part of the song? Because if that's what you mean, then there might be a little something to that.
I do think that, and I think because now Chris Brown
the alarm.
is...
Hold on, you got to stop. You got to go turn...
You go turn the alarm on.
No, I'm not dressed.
All right, well, you talk. You talk. Yeah, you talking. I'll turn
Just
the alarm.
run. It's right there.
We'll talk.
Sorry, people. Our alarm is going off for some reason. And it's not because someone's breaking in. It's because we have low battery in one of the units. So it just goes off randomly to let us know that we have to replace the battery. Hurry up. Okay. Quickly.
All right.
So,
and they're coming to fix the battery today, by the way, too.
Okay. So do you think that it's because people feel as though it gives Caucasians the right or the allowance to sing that part of the song?
I don't know why people are mad. I thought it was a brilliant idea. I think the fact that they're switching bodies, and it's kind of like if they put me in a white body, it's all the stereotypes that I would think as I would do as a white person. You know, let's say a stereotype, I wouldn't be flashy because I'm white. Not to say that all white people, some white people aren't flashy, but that's the stereotype.
But they're playing on it in the song. Like there's a line where it insinuates that Little Dicky has a little dicky.
Right, he has a little dick. But now that he's Chris Brown,
now he has a big one.
Dick,
right, yeah. And
Chris Brown is like, now that I'm Little Dicky, I got a small dick. You know?
Right. So
nobody knows who I am.
So
Nobody
I think
cares.
that it's very clever and it's interesting and it's cool, and I actually like the song. But I do want to ask you this.
Yes.
Because we have this conversation like maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and you probably don't want to have it now. But what do you think about the use of the N-word?
I mean,
because I'm going to be honest with you. Like, when I heard the song and it was like all those N words back to back to back to back. Yeah, they just heard it.
Nigga, yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, wow. Like, yes, I know that the term is normalized, but I was like, wow, we're really normalizing that word, aren't we?
Yeah, we definitely are. And yes, of course, we shouldn't be using the N-word, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I don't use it. I use it all the motherfucking time. What's up, my nigga? My nigga, what's up? Like, I use it all the time.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, when you put it in a caption, like, we have to have a conversation, like, can you please take the N-word out of your caption? I used it the other day.
I put Queens niggas.
I know, and I wanted to tell you to change your caption because... Listen, I know that it's normalized. I know that...
I shouldn't use it. I know I get it.
I know that, it's being used by everybody. It's just part of damn near everyday speech in a sense. But I still have a problem with it.
Right.
I still have a problem with it. I cringe when I hear it, And don't get me wrong, sometimes like in a joke or, whatever, like, of course, I'm like, all right. And there's a very rare occasion where it might slip out of my mouth and I'm like, wow, like this is really too much like a part of my environment because it's like, slipping into my mouth, even, you know what I mean? And I don't like it. So I don't know. What do you think about the normalizing of it?
I mean, I don't think it's normalizing the word because people still use the word. I mean,
that's normalizing it.
Yeah, but Jay-Z did it. He called the song "Niggas in Paris."
I know.
I don't have a problem. It's a form of art. It's a word.
Hold on. That was
in this,
too much.
In this song,
wait,
it is. It's the
that
truth.
was too much.
In this song,
it's a form of art.
In this song,
the N-word is a form of art.
Yes, in this song, it's a form of art, and the reason I say that is because they're playing on stereotypes. The fact that this white guy is now in his black body is things that we feel that this white boy would want to say as being black. So it's a form of art in this song. It's part of it.
I'll take that.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's it now.
But I think it's okay. So art based on reality.
Absolutely.
Because that's really
and expressing this because
that's really how people talk.
Absolutely.
What up, my bleep?
Yeah.
You bleep ass bleep, yeah.
But that's the thing. But do I think it's wrong that we use the N-word? Yeah, we shouldn't use the N-word as a community. It's a bad word. People say, "Oh, we're taking the power off the word." No, we shouldn't use the word. And we should refrain from using it. But we don't. A lot of us are raised on it. A lot of us, our friends say it. So it's so normal. Like when I see somebody in the street and they come up to me, I'm like, "What's up?" I'm like, "What's up? What's up, my nigga?" That's just what I say. I've been saying it since I was probably 10. And to stop saying it, I have to think not to say it.
But do you think that do you think that there's any credit to that? Using it takes the power away from it?
No, I think it's a bad word, and I think it's one of those words that we should delete from our history or delete from our vocabulary.
But I do think that it's less powerful now because it is so used and overly used.
I don't think it's less powerful now. I mean, it depends who says it. Like,
well, that's what I mean.
If somebody who's not in my race says, "What up, nigga?" No. It's not. It doesn't take the powerful. That shit hurt, and we throw your hands up. Let's fight. You see what I'm saying? Now, if somebody that looks like me say, "What's up, my nigga?" It's a little different. Same tone, same person, just different person. It's a different feeling.
So then you don't think that there's any positivity in embracing it?
No, I don't.
Then why do you perpetuate it?
I don't know. I'm a hypocrite when it comes to that. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I still say it. It's just something that's in my vocabulary that I say.
Do you want to change that?
I will try. I mean, I said
you and this try word.
I said I'll try.
You and this try word.
Same thing. I said I'll cut down on a lot of the the meat pause that I eat. Like, if I'll calm down and not eat as much. But have I done it? Yeah, this week. But shit, I ain't gonna lie. My fast is over today, and I want a steak.
Wait, hold on. You got what time is it?
It's 3 a.m.
You have 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, my shit is over. And yes, I want a motherfucking steak. I want a Chick-fil-A. I want all that shit. They say, well, when you go on the fast, you won't want it as much. Bullshit. I want a motherfucking steak today, medium. I might, I want some fried lobster tails. I might go to Jade 60 tonight.
Because the way you've been staring at my food and threatening me for eating in the car while you were driving.
You're going to eat in the car. Well, we'll talk about that on the next podcast. It's time to get up out of here. I got to get to work.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys.
I got to get back
us.
to La La Land.
Sorry for being a little late, but a nigga had to take a nap.
See, you got me laughing. But that's the only way. Oh, God, in a joke, it does tend to make jokes funnier.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, it's time to get out of here. Nigga got to go to work. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was an edition of The Pillow Talk by the Casey crew.
Of Pillow Talk. You got to get used to this.
Yeah,
Pillow Talk. It's not The Pillow Talk.
They knew what I meant, damn it.
All right.
Say your toodles. Say your goodbye.
Thanks for coming over. Toodles.